Hello everyone and welcome to another Terrainify tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how we make our deciduous trees in the autumn theme. The full list of colors and products used can be found in the description below. So let's get started. Step 1 will be to base coat the entire model in a dark brown or raw umber. If you're having trouble getting into the lower areas of the branches, water your paint down a bit and let gravity help you get to those spots. I've already base coated the model and it's fully dry, so we can move on to step 2. Our second step is to dry brush. We're going to dry brush the tree and the base separately. Starting with the tree, dry brush a light tan on the entire tree. If you can't get into the inner branches, that's okay. You won't be able to see it when we're finished. Now we're going to dry brush the base around the tree. Start by dry brushing a rich medium brown and let it dry a few moments. Then we'll finish off with dry brushing a rich light brown. And that's it for painting. Now to move on to the plant portion of our tutorial. Step 3 is for the glue. I'm using Hob-E Tac for this step. It starts out white, but when it sets, it will be clear and very, very sticky. You can use the brush that comes with the bottle, but I prefer a longer brush handle, so I'm going to use my own brush. Start with the inside middle area of the branches and work your way up and outward. Coat all sides of the branches, including the tippy tops. When you get to the outer branches of the tree, take care not to paint the glue too low. We don't want glue on the trunk. Now set the tree aside for a few hours to let the glue set. If you used your own brush to apply the glue, now is the time to wash the brush with warm water and hand soap. The glue is set and very, very sticky, so we can move on to step 4, applying the clump foliage. I'm using a mix of colors to get the beautiful autumn look. You'll need to break up the clumps a bit so the colors all mix. I'm doing this in a plastic bin. Working over the mixture, grab a handful of foliage and work it into the branches starting at the bottom. This is easiest if you turn the tree upside down. Work your way around and upwards on the tree until you have a nice full tree. And don't forget to get the tops of the branches. Clump foliage is heavy, so we are going to use our thick sealer to help it stay in place. Give it a good soak over a trash can and let the tree dry for several hours or even overnight. And you might need a second application of thick sealer if you have any clumps still falling off after it's dried. Alright, the tree is dry and looks beautiful, so let's move on to step 5, which is finishing the base. So we're going to start by painting some white PVA glue on all the areas that are not the tree roots. Now add your green flock mixture and gently tap off any excess. Step 6 will be to add some details. Using a green mixture of coarse flock, add a bit of bright yellow coarse flock. Apply it in small groups and areas around the tree. Next, take some of the flock that we used for the tree and sprinkle small pieces of it on the ground area around the tree. Now apply some of the thick sealer to all the newly flocked areas. At this point, you can set the model aside to dry and then move on to the final step, or you can do it while the flock is still wet. Our final step will be adding a few grass tufts. We're going to use some yellow tufts and some reddish brown tufts. Use some white PVA glue to hold the tufts in place and place them around the tree. You can group some together and do some as singles. Now carefully pick up your autumn themed deciduous tree and admire the phenomenal work you did. The autumn themed deciduous trees are certainly eye-catching and beautiful. Just imagine the adventures you can have with these trees on your table. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also check out Terrainify.com for this model and others along with our STL files. And be sure to follow us on Facebook for sneak peeks of new models and more. Thanks for watching.